It's Chris with Expat Theory. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you guys being here and watching. Well, it's been a little while since I've made a video, and I've been slow on the content. Um, I'm really trying to get used to everything and get adjusted. To be honest with you, it's uh, it's different than what I expected, and I think that's going to spark a few videos here, some things I kind of wanted to talk about. Um, I think I'm going to start this one, probably probably the largest elephant in the room when it comes down to people um, retiring or moving to the Philippines. And I think the biggest misconception, or at least in my opinion, slightly misrepresented, is the language. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, in the Philippines they speak English." Um, guess what? Some people do. A lot of people don't. So what I have found is, and this is, keep in mind, this is based on a couple of months of my experience being in Mindanao. So I have not traveled the whole country yet. But from what I've seen within my travels, from what I've experienced firsthand, what I have spoken to other expats about, um, I think YouTube content creators don't accurately portray the competency level of English speaking here in the Philippines. Nothing bad towards Philippines, okay? It is not their fault or their responsibility to learn my language. Okay, so I don't blame the Philippines for not being fluent in English at the same level that I am. Okay, if anything, I need to learn the local language. Okay, so I don't take this as a bash against the Philippines because it's absolutely not. But what I am kind of getting at is the way when you watch so many videos, and I've been watching videos since like 2018 about coming back to the Philippines, and it's one of the hardcore selling points for expats to choose the Philippines for their retirement. And they harp about, oh yeah, the English is wide spoken, and they teach it in the schools here. It's a second language, and all of that is true. But pump the brakes for a minute. Look at the education system in the United States. Look at these people on YouTube doing interviews in the streets, asking people basic common knowledge that they should have learned in school, and they're absolutely clueless. Yeah, same thing here. And if you think about it, the education system here is not really well funded. In fact, most families have to pay for their children to go to school and pay for everything, and they don't have the funds. So there are a whole lot of Filipinos that do not have access to education. And even if they get through school, they're just like our high schoolers or worse. So think about that for a minute. So when you ask these people a foreign language, it's not like you're asking them in their local language. They have a difficult time with the language. And a lot of the ones that you do meet and do speak English, there is a drastic difference in comprehension levels. You can say things and they may not quite get it. They hear the words, they can answer you back in English, but it may not click, if that makes any sense. It's, I don't know, think about when you were in junior high school and you got taught Spanish for a semester. You don't just suddenly become a fluent speaking, you know, run around speaking in Espanol. No, you might have picked up a couple of words or phrases or two, and that's about it. Now, that happens here a lot with English. You know, they may or may not have, conversational English skills. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a number of people that you will bump into that are completely fluent in English. Um, they almost use English as their primary language. They're so good at it. But I think what I'm trying to get at is the level of comprehension, the level of availability of English speakers, and the number of English speakers that are in and around you um, may have been slightly overstated in a lot of YouTube content, in my opinion. So, what that translates to is, when your boots on the ground over here, you kind of have to be patient for one, because you're trying to figure out what they're saying and you're trying to communicate back in language that they may not understand. And a lot of them will give you the yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. They didn't understand a word you said. And that's a common deflection. Is when they don't understand, they're just yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. That's how they do it. Because they don't like confrontation here. So it's not, you don't really want to confront anyone, especially over something like that, because basically you're at fault. You're the foreigner. You're coming in with a foreign language. Um, it's not their responsibility to understand and learn your language. Okay, the task at hand actually falls upon you. If you're going to live here, you should learn how to communicate here. So, uh, on the flip side of that, from my understanding, is that the Philippines is probably one of the best countries in the world for English, which says a lot because, I mean, that's, well, let me put it this way, in Asia, maybe not in the world, but in Asia. So it means a lot that you can actually motivate here. You can get around here. And if you're patient and you're understanding and you keep the right perspective, uh, you can get things done. You can make your way through, um, even though you don't speak the local language. So it is doable. It can be frustrating. It can be kind of a hurdle in some instances and situations. Um, you know, it it's not insurmountable though. It's not a mountain you can't climb. It's just a little bit, I think, misrepresented. So, and of course, that helps with clicks and views and watch hours on YouTube. It translates to money in your pocket when you're a YouTube content creator and putting out videos about the country. So, I guess that would kind of be a reason why you would just kind of go with the flow and go with the trend of saying that, English is widely spoken here. Yeah, I guess technically you're accurate, But when you're on the ground and you're walking around, and people just cannot communicate, and it happens way more than I expected, and it's a much more frequent issue than I did believe it was going to be when I first came here. So that's a topic, and a kind of a thought point for you guys that are thinking about coming over here. Really kind of need to keep that in the back of your brain that not everybody speaks English. Not everybody speaks good English. Some people might know a handful of words, just like we might know a handful of words in a foreign language. It's the same thing. They're trying, but the responsibility is not upon the Filipino people, though. The responsibility is upon you, the foreigner who's traveling in a foreign country, to learn and adapt to what's around you. So, keeping that in mind and come in with the right perspective and the right attitude, and remain humble, you'll be okay. I haven't had any situation where I couldn't eventually work things out, you know, even without the help of a fluent English speaking person. But anyway, I guess it's just from my perspective that that was an area that I thought was kind of overhyped while watching videos for a number of years before coming here. All right, guys, I think that I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to pop that one out. I'm going to probably pop out a couple more videos here and there, kind of talking about, feet on the ground, how things really are. And, I'm sitting here in my nice little condo, but being here in Davao, already had a few little adventures that I can talk about. So I'll have more content coming, and it's going to be, I'm just going to keep doing what I do. It's going to be off the cuff, no script, me sitting down and talking to you and telling you what I see and what I'm experiencing. And hopefully you guys will appreciate that because I don't get paid from YouTube. I'm not monetized, never have been, don't plan to be. I don't do YouTube for monetization. It's not part of my financial planning. I do it because I want to, plain and simple. So when I tell you something, it's just me giving you honest opinion from what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. And hopefully it helps, especially if you're planning on coming here. You don't come here with the overhyped expectations and feel disappointed when things don't exactly line up to what you expected, from watching all the videos. So, yeah, I can give you a more down to earth point of view, one that isn't sugar coated or overhyped or dressed up to get clicks and views and likes. So, all right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.